Okay. Yeah. Good evening, all. Um, so this weekend, we're going to see what stocks are actually can go up, and what's the market forecast, and what stocks I expected to go up good, and with the earning season coming up, so I expect a, good volatility this week. So with that, I wanted to just to get started with is a simple chart setup, how to uh, do the analysis for for the next this coming week, right? So I just kept this chart pretty clean, and I'm going to remove clear the drawing set here. Mute all. If anybody has any question, just you can just unmute yourself and then start asking any question. Okay, the first thing I'll see, I'm looking at S&P and I want to do the forecast for the next week. This is the Thinkorswim powered by TD Ameritrade. I'm sure you all have. I mean, the same thing you can do it in Yahoo Finance or Trading View, any of your brokerage account as well. I wanted to just keep simple indicators so that you should be able to predict the market. For first thing I'll do, I'll add.
Hello,
Hello.
can you hear me?
Yeah, Sushil, I can hear you. Do you have any questions, Sushil? I'll mute you if you don't have any question. Okay, I'll go to edit studies, and I will start with the regular simple moving averages. I'll add 3 simple moving average, one for 20. I'll keep it green, and another one for 50. I'll keep it red. And the width, I just change it to 3. And the third, I change it to 200, and I'll change the color to white. Okay, so if you look, I can even just change this. This is 20 simple moving average, and this is 50 simple moving average, and this one is a 200-day moving average. So what this tells you right now for S&P. So right now the stock is trying to stay above 20 simple moving average, which is a good bullish sign, and the next resistance is 392. And I call this as a resistance because 20 simple moving average expecting to break above this. This is the good resistance. If the stock can break above 50 simple moving average, which is a good bullish sign going forward. And this is the resistance levels. Okay. So I put 20, 50, and 100. So here, if I'm just looking at the crossovers on a simple moving average, 20 is below 50, 50 is below 200, which is still a bearish. Only when 20 goes above 50, that is the super bullish. Okay, so I expect, you know, to cross above this level 392, then I call it as a bullish for next week. So Tuesday, Monday to Tuesday, if you don't expect we move this level, eventually we are still in a bearish. But if you go above 392, I expect there is another resistance levels I watch, which is a 417, which is another resistance level. If you see here, the stock tried to go up, but it reversed right here, and this is what I call it as a resistance. So I'll move this. I'll move exactly the solid line, it's around 417. So this is simple 20, 50, 200. And now I also wants to add, there are a couple of the another which I use exponential moving average, which is basically I had my standard 5 is typically exponential moving average, and 9 is another exponential moving average, which you all know, which I usually follow this, and 12 I'll just start with, I think. Okay, I'll just keep it this blue color maybe. Okay, so I'll just repeat one more time. If this confuse you, I will just change the simple moving average to a dotted ones. I'll just change it to the dotted ones so that you don't get too much. Okay, I think this would be much better. So we are using our current standards, right? 5, 9, and 12. Maybe I think change this to 5. I'll keep it, and 9 probably I'll keep it to green, and 12 I'll keep it to red. In that way, you understand. Which is what is earlier our chart setup. Okay, I don't want to get deviated more from there. Okay, now if you see on a daily, the stock is actually, this is what something which is a consolidation phase, right? So what we saw from last week, I'm trying to see the trend of this stock. Okay, so I added simple moving average 5, 20, 20, 50, and 200. At the same time, exponential 5, 9, and 12. Okay. So next thing I just wanted to see, what is that zones, current zones from last week. So if you see, this is what is there from last 2-3 weeks, we are trading in this zone. I would say from, if I take it from 622, this is what I feel the market is moving up and down, up and up. So we are going sideways from last 2-3 weeks. So when I call it as a breakout, we'll remove this. I call it as a breakout when under this zone 392 or 393. So I'll just start marking this as a good zone. Okay. If at all, if the market I expect to break out, it has to break out this level 392. Okay. At the same time, we also have the support. Okay, where is the next support right here? First thing is, so if you look here, market, here there are a couple of points. The market tend to go down, but eventually they reverse right here. So I'll start adding. These are my good support levels. I'll keep it right here. So every time market tries to go down here, but eventually they picked up back. So it traded in this zone for SPY. And similarly, the stock, the S&P, but is almost going down, but eventually at this place, there are a lot of buyers were. So this is what I call, okay. These are the key support zones and these are resistance zones. So eventually market going sideways, this. Okay, this is just using simple support and resistance. So next resistance, I would call these levels where market reversed. See, from here, market change their directions, right, at these levels. I just start wherever they were market is selling off, right? At these levels, market is selling off. If you if you see here, at these levels, market is selling off. You can even extend this, I'll activate this drawing and I will extend right here, right? At this level, market had found a resistance and eventually came back. So I call these a good supply and whatever, like you can, people call supply and demand zones, and also you can call support and resistance. I'll try to keep it simple. I call this as a resistance and this as the first support, this as a second support. Then this is as my second resistance. So this is what the market right now from last week, last 2 weeks, 3 weeks, right? Eventually we are, yeah, 3 4 weeks, which we trying to go sideways here. And the same situation happened. I'll show you. Okay. So if you see June 30th, also we went sideways and eventually we gave up that. We are now continuously trying to go on the sideways. Are we going to break above this level or going to break down? We don't know yet. So, so we're going to forecast now. So what is the current trend and what we going to expect? It's all depends on the earning season. So I added 20, 50, 200-day simple moving average. And at the same time, I also added 5, 9, and 12 as our my EMA. And I wanted to know whether we are actually trying to, I'll add a one more resistance, EMA 5 or 12. This is the, yeah, this is what I added for just to know the trend of the market. I'll add it here. And I wanted this one. So one more thing I also wanted to know is, I also wanted to know the Bollinger Band. I wanted to know the volatility of the market. Okay, so what is the high it can go and what is the low it can drop. So I'll add a Bollinger Band on top of. Okay, so I added the Bollinger Band. So Bollinger Band, I'll change the color to something which is, Just give a pink color. One second. Okay. So now, so this chart looking somewhat good. I'm looking at a daily S&P. So from my previous sessions, every time, whenever the market is actually deviating from the upper Bollinger Band, this is a good position to add puts. Okay. And every time the moment it is coming back and then trying to rise above, this is the good time to add calls. And even the middle also, you can actually retest. The S&P can retest every time. You can trade puts at right now, and eventually if they can break out, you can try to trade calls. But anything above the lower Bollinger Band, it is there is always a buying pressure is higher. Because it is actually, it found a support and then eventually it came back, that this is the support it has, and then eventually it can start moving up. The next resistance would be right now at 392. That's what they expected. And even the Bollinger Band also will tell you, okay, S&P, how much it can go up, how much it can go down. There is a limit is there. Okay, so you got to, like, trade within these zones. In case you want to buy any calls, right? Trying to buy in the money calls, 385, 386, and expect to go up till 392. And the moment it goes up, there is a trying to cash in your profit, and eventually there will be a rejection, and then again it's going to retest, and then eventually if it breaks above that, then you can start retesting to the next level. Okay. So there is another thing you also wanted to add on this. So we added SMAs, EMAs, Bollinger Band, support and resistance zones you added. Next thing is I'm going to add a trend line. Okay, I'll add a trend line. So where is the recent support? The recent support is right here, right? This is the recent support, and I try to place a trend line from to the previous support. So where exactly the previous support? I put it right here, and I'll change this, edit properties, and eventually I'll change it to a gray line, and okay, I dotted ones. If you cannot see it, properties. I'll keep it similar, and maybe I'll increase the size. In that way, you understand. And I'll extend this, extend to the right. Okay. So S&P is founding a support on these two zones. At the same time, it is also getting a good support on this trend line. As long as it is trying to stay above this level, I expect S&P to be bullish to the up. If it can break down, then I call it as a, you're going to bearish zone. So same thing. Okay, I added this, and now I also want to have add another trend line, which is the recent highs. Okay, I'll start from right here. Okay, and I'll try to see if we can connect more than 2-3 points. So I'd say right here. Edit properties. I'll change the color to gray, and width I'll change it to 4. I'll change these colors to something else. So maybe I'll change it to yellow. Okay, okay. Okay, if you look right now, I'm just extend to the right. So I joined the latest support, okay, to the previous support line. Again, I joined from the latest resistance, the latest highs to the latest resistance. I mean the support resistance 1 and resistance 2. And if you look, it is actually trying to break out. And some people even call this, it is forming a triangle. Okay, it is forming a triangle. But eventually, if we see right here, it is trying to support, trying to find a support on this trend line and eventually trying to gap up. And we are in a earning season right now. So I expect we are going to go up. And with all the, with Citibank doing pretty good last week, and there is still a good forecast as expected, and eventually we are going to gap up higher. And the same thing, if you do the same research analysis for the QQQs, and you can test this in a multiple channel, multiple time frame. So I look at 4 hours. See, eventually we found a support and eventually we are gapping up, right? We're gapping up on this. If we can actually break out this level on Monday, eventually we are going to retest 393 again. Okay, so we're going to retest this level, and there are a couple of things. Is all your 20, 50, 200-day simple moving average, right? See, you see here, this 20 simple moving average is actually overlapped right here. So it is a bullish signal, and I expect to be bullish for the next. But again, Fed interest rate hike, that decision is going to come sometime to the end of July, July 27th. I'm still bullish until then, and we don't know. And we know that the market, what companies have the almost 44 companies as I'll try to do a mega cap stocks, mega caps, or you can do just anything above 50 billion. You can do it custom. Okay. So if you see Charles Schwab, Goldman Sachs, Bank of America, IBM is having on Monday, and Johnson and Johnson, Novartis, Netflix earnings on July 19th after hours, after market close, and Tesla is on July 20th after hours, and what else? AT&T, Verizon, and these are the major companies which are reporting. And if you wanted to know even more companies, you can just There are multiple companies. You can go anything about 10 billion market cap. You can find multiple stocks. If you really wanted to know these scanner, I'll just share it to you. Okay, so we will do one by one. Okay, so now I did S&P. S&P expect we to gap up above 393. If we can break out that level, we are looking 417. If all the companies, earnings are great, and if at all there are any issues again, we are going to eventually retest to 363, and that's the target for this week. And if they're not good, eventually what's the next support? Let me see. So if I wanted to find the next support line after this line, so I see where exactly where you're trying to go here. So you see it is bounced back at this level, and this is a good support. And I look where was the previous resistance? It went down right here, and at this point of time, and this is the good support here, and it found to, I'll start trying these levels. One is wherever the previous resistance, it's trying to go up, but it went down on these levels. So I call this, it was a previously resistance and now as a good support. And again, there at this point of time, the stock actually trying to move up. So I'll draw a resist support line. Okay, I'll extend it in case if we drop further, we are going to go down much. So, and another good candlestick indicator I wanted to mention that. So any candlestick which is of this is called a Dragonfly Doji. So that means there is a more buying pressure than the selling pressure. So I expect we to go up pretty good, which is this is called a Dragonfly Doji. And see, if you see on a weekly, it is sits on top of it, so which is typically a good buying indicator on the candlestick. If at all, if I look at the candlestick chart pattern, there's a good buying point. So next I wanted to take a look at QQQ. Okay, if anybody want this chart, I'll just share it. I'll switch the gears to QQQ. QQQ2, okay, on a weekly, it's having a nice sitting on the trend line. It's finding a support, and I draw this trend line sometime back, so I'll just activate drawing again. I'll try to see if we can. I'll remove this. Try it. Okay, previous low, and I'll just extend to the right. And this is on a weekly. You know, we can start doing same thing on. I'll start doing the same thing. If it is, I want to cover right up here. Okay, if it touching the body, that's also fine. Some people just trying to join the body only. This wicks, it is mm, it's also okay, but if you look right now, whatever, it's all fake signals. Anything above, going above the lines is a fake signal. But when you join a trend line, it is better if it's more than 2 points, it should touch the candlestick. Some people draw on the body, some people draw on the wicks. Drawing on the wicks is okay, because you know what is exactly the lowest support line. It is actually similar uh, chart like S&P, where it is also trying to break out right here. It is founding a support, and eventually it is trying to break out. And many shorts may also be in some pressure that, hey, you know what if the earnings are good, eventually they're going to cover it. So there may be a chance of short squeeze can happen. So everybody, shorts, they are also, if they have fear, if the market can go up, they'll try to cover it back. That's what happened. So eventually we dropped, but eventually the bull won the case right now. That's what for QQQ Nasdaq. So we are going to go back up. So what's the next support or resistance for QQQ? I'll start drawing few levels. One is, this is where we are right now, 292. Okay, and I wanted to know the immediate resistance. So I see, okay, this is the immediate resistance at this level, 296, immediate resistance. And at the same time, I would watch it for the support. This is the first support where it actually reversed. The market trying to go down, but it reversed back up. And again, here also market trying to go down, it reversed. These are the critical reversal point. And I'll start drawing some rectangles. Okay, this is the good strong support, and this is the next support. I would say this is the next resistance. So next resistance would be at this level. Okay, this is where the point where the stock trying to go up, but eventually it gave up and reversed back, right? Same thing here at this line, the stock eventually we are bounce back up, right? These are the key levels for QQQ. One is the first resistance is 296. Okay, if you leave that, we are expecting for 314. If all the tech earnings do good, we're expecting this level. And the same the Next support would be around 280. 280 would be the good support. After if we break from 291, I expect 287, yesterday's low. So that's about QQQ. And for any penny stock, Russell, and any small cap stocks, some small caps also stocks also running, similar to SPY and QQQ, they're just going sideways. So you got to start following this, putting these levels. This is a good support, and this is another good keep resistance levels, right? If you think again, the previous days would go as the next resistance levels. That's it, and that's how we can start putting now. But whereas if you look at on a 4-hourly chart, it is still a bullish from previous, what days, from last Thursday. Yep, it is. But IWM, I would say, like, hold on, because not many stocks are really great, because with the recession forecast, I strongly suggest look at only the growth and value stock. And people always have a confusion about growth and value stock. So what is a growth stock and what is a value stock? Anybody know? And please, and if you know it, please unmute yourself and you can just uh, mention here if you want to tell anything about growth and value stock. If you're not sure, just put it in the chat section. Not sure. I just wanted to know, like, how many know growth and value stocks. Okay, that's fine. So growth, right? You all know Benjamin Graham, Warren Buffett, and Charlie, right? They all Berkshire, right? So when they started, they're trying to analyze some of the stocks into a couple of categories. One is they wanted to find the stocks and growth and value investment. They did that. So what is a growth stocks? So the growth stocks is basically, okay, so we all know S&P, right? S&P will have a set of it's having its own chart, like whether how it grows, right? If S&P in this quarter, can move up like 10%, right? S&P is growing by 10%, whereas some of the stocks in their earnings, their growth is measured in their earnings, that hey, they're able to outperform in the earnings by more than what S&P is doing, more than what S&P is performing. So what is a growth stock? Growth stock is something, a stock which it is outperforming in the sales growth. Okay, and their capital growth and revenue, right? So this is all the stocks which can grow every one quarter to another quarter, and that's what those are the stocks which we wanted to find out eventually. So that's what Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger, they're trying to do it for Berkshire, right? It's Benjamin Graham is basically he is the guru for Warren Buffett, right? So what stocks are growth stocks, right? So how do you find out these growth stocks? So this is what you need to take a look at: earnings reports. You need to check, okay, what stocks have been doing that. So I'll go to scan. Okay, I wanted to do some stocks which are, I'll just do the market cap of 1 billion, and I'll go to fundamental, right? You can take a look here: cash flow, current ratio, financial, earnings per share, gross profit for margin. There are different sales per share. Okay, look at sales per share. Current annual, you can take a look at year on year percentage. I think I'll see the growth on 10% from the previous years. And I want to do for 100 billion. Okay, now if you see current year on a year 10%, or let's say I do want to do for 20%. There are only 24 stocks came. So Meta, eventually they're having better sales. But again, this is based on the previous earnings report. Okay, I'll do for year 20%. The 24. Okay, these are the stocks which did pretty good. Okay, so they had a better sales. And net income, I wanted to do for net income how they did. So on price to earnings ratio, this is also another good one. Price earnings net income. So say they grew by 20%. Current. So we got to start looking at these stocks, how the net income start increasing from last year to this year. And these are the stocks you got to start putting your money, not the penny stocks and these stocks, which by the after the earnings you will get their real value, and start taking a looking at these stocks which did pretty good in their sales growth. And so when it comes to the fundamental analysis, there are two things are involved. Any stocks, fundamental analysis, right? Also fundamental analysis, there are a couple of things. One is assets, liabilities, okay, equity of stocks, equity is nothing but the stocks, right? Always, most of the time, right? This equity stocks is assets minus liabilities. Typically, it should be balanced. Okay, what is the market cap overall? There are assets and liabilities. Also includes the loans, right? Loans or any risk involved in the company or anything like that. Assets are like the buildings they own and the contracts they have and things like that. So mm, so earnings has to be do good, pretty good for the stock. So if you wanted to know, okay, let's say how did the City Group did perform? Analyze. I'll go to City and earnings. Okay. Okay. So earnings also, this is the what is act. This is what Wall Street. That's their 0.2, and this is for different stock. City. Yeah. So this is what City did outperformed. Wall Street expectation, green color, and actually is 2.02, uh, which they did pretty good. Okay, in overall, and the same thing now for Bank of America. Okay, they did okay. Margin, not much of a big, but eventually it's not that bad. Market Bank of America did not Bank of America. It is what last week we had. Go to earnings. Okay, I'll just do this for last week. Anything 50 billion. Okay. Yeah. So there are a couple of stocks. One is City, right? And there are PNC, Wells Fargo, Morgan Stanley, and TSM, JP Morgan Chase. So let's take a look at JP Morgan, how they did. Earnings, analyze, right? So Wall Street expected 2.85, but their actually is 2.76 earnings per share. So they're not up to the level, right? JP Morgan, they're okay just because overall City did pretty good, and they were average. They did okay, which is fine. So same thing I expect for PNC. PNC actually went down after the earnings. Yeah, PNC just recovered after they did not move much up. Okay, so go ahead.
I have a question. What is the book value? Because I read while on this, looking at the city earnings that city is way below the book value, so it has potential to go up. So I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
so what happens, so what happens, there is a, actually, if you look book value of the stock, value formula. It's, so if you're looking at this, let's see if we can find out a book value. It doesn't give anywhere here. So book value is basically based on the, uh, mm, I said, right, based on the assets and liabilities, they will actually calculate the value of the stock. And typically the equity share would not be into, oops, wait. I'll show you our finance. Our finance is much better. Yeah, if anybody interested more doing the fundamental analysis, our finance is the best thing. You can just watch out the revenue, earnings per share, and mm, balance sheet. Yeah, I talked about assets and liabilities, right? So if you see here, assets, liabilities, total market cap, and there is an, actually I had one PDF which I will share it sometime. I need to take one session for doing the fundamental analysis. Um, so book value is something which is fundamentally they'll calculate. Okay. So when I'm looking at this, anything book value. So based on the assets and liabilities, right? So that means, okay, let's say a company, it's worth you know 100 million, 100 billion, okay, 100 billion, okay, and they're having the loans for 30 billion. Okay, so they are currently worth of 70 billion, right? And 70 billion, and they divided by number of shares. So this is based on the fundamental analysis. Fundamental analysis. they calculate the book value. This is very high level. Actually, I need some time to just to give some of these more detailed values. Maybe I'll take one session on that. So they take a look at the assets and liabilities, and based on the what the worth they have, and this is what the current market value now based on the book value. But eventually, market will be, let's say, if this is a around mm, book value, they say like $27, $27. But whereas the market shares value may be around 35, right? If it is 35, which means it is a overvalued, right? The stock's worth is overvalued, but if they look at the value based on the book value, I mean, there will be less. So I'm just giving one example. It could be more. Actually, Citibank, it's actually, I am having an issue.
Yeah, I read it's very undervalued compared to the other competitors.
Yeah, City is
Bank.
actually good. City it can perform better. I think mm, I had some issues. That's fine. Okay, now I wanted to do some one more analysis here on Finviz. So what stocks? Okay, I did this right. I did based on the earnings next week. I did a filter, and okay, I want to do it only for companies which is anything over 10 billion. That's fine. Okay, that's totally fine. And you can take a look, and only for this next week. Okay, I got around 48 companies overall, and the major being Netflix, July 19th, and Twitter, Goldman Sachs, Snap, yeah, Freeport, that's also copper one, Novartis, AT&T, Deer Orton. Okay, so let's take a look at some of the key important stocks. What is the market cap of them? Most of them are 77 billion. Anything small, large. Okay, let's take a look at some of the charts right here. Let's start. Okay, maybe something Bank of America. Snapshot. Okay, this is much better. So if you look at Bank of America also, mm, it is trying to break out right here under the wedge. The stock is looking good to break out. I expect we to gap up all the way to 36 and 38 at the Bank of America. Uh, this is J&J. J&J is around closer to 178, and it is having the support of the trend line. And eventually, if we can gap up above 185, we expect to move further up. This is Verizon. Verizon, it is also having a good support on the trend line from 46 to 52. If we can break above this 55 with uh, mm, the 5G, I expect Verizon to do much better. It's a good forecast. And Tesla, what I feel is like, eventually it's all depends on the sales that they did it. Mm, I'm bullish on Tesla, and I expect to gap up to 850 to 900s if at all if the earnings are pretty good. If the earnings are not that good, eventually we are going back to 600s.
So can we trust Elon Musk? Like what he says, is he speaking the truth or like Kramer?
Uh, like on what we need to
Like
trust.
he says, uh, we might have a hit in the sales, or sometimes he gives statements. I mean, is he? Can we believe him, or it's it could be anything?
No, I think whatever Elon Musk he told, it all talks facts and truth.
Okay.
So, if at all you see, he is very vocal on what is his this one. He will say, okay, if Tesla did not good, he will tell sales are not great. So,
Okay. Yeah, I felt the same, but I uh, just wanted to make sure with my understanding. He he speaks like the
yeah,
truth of the matter is fact.
he is being saying facts so far. He said everything right. Initially, he said the recession, which is more like expected. When January, February itself, we told that there is a possibility of recession with global inflation, which is right. And there are a couple of things with Twitter too. I mean, he knows the numbers. Like what is the business value of the Twitter, and then eventually he wanted it, but again with all the users and a lot of bots count, he he just backed out of it because they know it with the current market. I mean, not Twitter, you cannot really make any money out of it, just by, I mean, because again, people are depending more on the mm, Facebook or Instagram or TikTok, and even they are also losing the value, and there's no point in buying that Twitter, with a lot of, I think again, a lot of people are using for their own bots and others. Right. I mean, I totally agree with whatever Musk says. I'm more because he's more honest currently. With all this inflation and everything, and people are also not having enough money to buy. I would say, even Tesla may be affected with the China shutdown and other stuff, but you got to be a little more cautious with the earnings. Not a great earnings, it would be okay earnings, but again, they will in the forecast. I'm sure they're going to mention that outlook forecast would be, I mean, not a great outlook, but eventually they're expecting mm, somewhat a bearish outlook in their guidance for Netflix. They burnt enough money investing in the movies because they didn't get much out of it. Again, not that great movies. I am bearish on Netflix. It is eventually is going to go further down. Mm, yeah, I'll do one what list document with the latest earnings by coming this week. Maybe probably by tomorrow, I'll share the what list, and then what is my expectation, what is the stocks, because all the stocks eventually we need to bank on the speculation and everything. If anybody interested in knowing, I'll be sharing the, if you really wanted to know these the, the stocks which are having let's see if I can pull this. Okay, let me pull this. I can export it. If anybody this need this input, I can just share it. I'll share the PDF in the channel. Mm, and for the market, actually now the next thing is like what stocks are actually breaking out for the next week. I wanted to find a scan for this. So basically what I'll do, I'll trying to see what stocks are actually breaking out of couple of moving averages, right? Okay, so this is someone's scanner that I use it for finding the growth stocks, and I want to find all the stocks which are uh, the growth stocks, which are the growth and value stock. Anything about 10 billion market cap, I'm trying to find. The stocks did pretty good last weekend performance. I'm going to the performance section, and I'll just trying to click performance for the week or performance of the month also. So if you look the performance of the month, so Roblox is actually pretty good. I think I gave one alert on Roblox. I'm not sure. Okay, so I gave an alert on Roblox, right, at $44, and right now the stock price is at 39, right, somewhere right here. It actually gave here. Actually, this Roblox stock is actually doing good. It is eventually going to break out. Okay, so I expect to gap up. This is having a higher high, higher lows, down slowly. I mean, eventually Roblox is pretty good stock to go for it. And same thing, Coupang is a Chinese. Pins is also a good one. Pins is actually breaking out. United Healthcare did pretty good, and the healthcare stock, and it is having the potential to go to 550s by next week, to 600s. Netflix is also trying to break out because I think people who shorted, they're trying to cover it.
Can you see coupon to place?
Yeah, coupon, you want to know?
Yeah.
Okay, if you see coupon, it's actually trying to broke down all the way to $9, and now it is trying to break out slow and steadily. See, I expect this stock to do pretty good, and the stock was around, so it is having the bearish sentiment yet, but eventually it is actually trying to break out. Let's see in our chart, our typically CPNG came in a couple of my scanners too. I'll change it to 5 minutes and see what is the. Yeah, it's breaking out. If you see on Friday, it went up 1.5, 10% up. It is actually breaking out. See, and after the earnings, they did pretty good. 5.9, and eventually it's actually breaking out. So this is good. So next resistance. Let's see on daily. Okay, yeah, if you see, it has to break out this level to gap up higher. And let's see if I can move this. Yeah. Okay, if you see on hourly, it's actually trying to break out from $11. 30 minutes to same thing. Okay. Yep, MACD buy and RSI is also almost closer. It has to break above 1632, 1640, 1650. It has to break out that level to gap up higher.
Is that a Chinese stock? The name kind of.
Sorry?
Is that a Chinese stock? Or?
Yeah, this is a Chinese stock.
Okay, I have a generic question on the Chinese stocks today. There is a news that the Chinese government is going to regulate. They're requiring them to disclose something, and it's going to come up soon, before September or sometime. So does it impact? Because that's a concern. That was a concern.
What was the regulation?
To disclose the, I think the customers or some information to Chinese government.
Oh,
Like the ride share, or they need to the Baba, all those they need to disclose their client information or something.
yeah, but I mean, see, the problem is, see, what I see is China is having the mortgage, those related bank loan issues. That's what I heard it because especially now the lot of developers are going bankrupt with the Chinese. So if you look at China, real estate, they're actually really having a lot of issues. There, lot of developers are going defaulted, and people also losing the money because they're given. I mean, again, China outlook is really very bad. So if at all, if you invest, try to stay out of Chinese stocks. Mm, for a day trading, it is okay, but the problem again, even Baba, I expected to go up. See, one thing is all these stocks do similar movements. So Baba is expected to go above 125. It didn't happen. Eventually, it is actually dropping down, which I feel that you can try to stay out of Chinese stock. So this is not the moment I expected that. See, if you look, Baba is like going down. I mean, right after going all the way to 125. This really scares me to invest anything in the Chinese stock right now. See, that's what it is trying to go back and retest this level, 73, 74. It's not really a good sign with the Chinese having these mortgage issues. I think there are a lot of real estate projects are actually getting failed.
Hi, Sri.
Hi.
Raj.
Hi, Raj. How are you?
Good, good. Can you check CELH once, please?
Okay, let me see. Okay, it shows almost. It is actually good. It is trying to gap up to. It is broke out this level of 71 and eventually at 80, which is trying to gap up. Celsius is good. This is like what is the energy drinks, right?
Yeah.
Energy drink is good. I read in the Investor Business Daily too that this is actually a good, especially with the summer. They're going to expect a good sales, and eventually it is actually can gap up to 90s and 110s. I heard good about Celsius. It is a pretty good growth stock.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
if
it's
you
been
look at,
breaking out from last week, so just wanted to confirm.
yeah, actually, I read Investors Business Daily, and I follow this stock long back. It's if you see looking at this trend from it went all the way to 38, and now it is at 76. So this is really stellar. I expect to do pretty good this next earnings as well.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so I wanted to cover up a couple of. So if anybody has any stocks or anything, let me know. I'll try to cover. And same thing with other Splunk is actually uh, good. It did pretty good this month, but overall from last quarter did not do that great. So some of these stocks I expect to perform better because now people are trying to start putting more money on these stocks. Okay, and if you want the list, I'll just pull this out. Okay, I'll share the tickers. Okay, and also City did pretty good, because of the latest earnings. And take a look at Spotify. Spotify is also, if you see, it was at 90, and then now it is trying to move back up. Mm, and Bank of America is also almost bottomed out at 28, 29s, and it is also having good. So we have a stock buy trade alerted last Friday. I expect to do good. The same thing with PayPal just moved to. I don't think people are really trying to get into this one. I expect some good market. I mean, at least by you can just ignore PayPal right now. Anything else? What did I do? Anything above 5% up for today? You can do the same thing for month up. I would say month up. Okay, I think this will give much better stocks outlook. Take a look at Chevy did pretty good. Chevy did 57% up from the fall. I keep watching these trades so that this month they're expecting a good uh, mm, growth. So Lucid is actually coming back up, and take a look at some of the Rivian is actually moving up. Roku is moving up. These stocks I tend to follow this. You can see anything month up and do any large stocks, right? Month I do expect minimum of 10% of rise. I don't know, 100 stocks actually went up 10% up, and keep watching these trends. Amazon is actually moving up from last month. Qualcomm is moving up. Docu moving up. These stocks are good to load, especially if you have some good capital. You can start investing and then trade. And you can also look at the technicals also on top of it. Technicals, take a look at the technical and what stocks have been trying to stay above 20, 50, 200. If the stock is about 20, 50 and 200, those stocks are really pretty good. That means they're actually breaking out from their bottom. So let's see. Okay, what I'll do, I'll try to see uh, price above SMA 20, price above SMA 50, and price above SMA 200. Okay, I got around these stocks. Okay, and trying to figure out what stocks did pretty good overall. And these are, they did comparatively better. These stocks, if you look, they did comparatively better. And I think mostly, let's see if what is the stocks are. Okay, mostly healthcare stocks. If you look like now, healthcare, consumer cyclical, healthcare, real estate. And there are few real estate, and mostly there are a lot of stocks are healthcare, right?
Can we see ABBV? I think it looks like good.
ABBV. Okay, I'll take a look at ABBV. Yeah, ABBV went all the way to 137 and now trying to break out from 152. And let's see if and I want to do it in a 5 minute. Yep, it's solid green. Buy 1 day, 4 hour, 1 hour. It's solid, and it is trying to. If you're looking at a daily, it's actually can break out. This start is looking good. It is trying to gap up. We can also add some other indicators like MACD to just to get an help to okay when is actually breaking out. Okay, I got a buy signal right here on the MACD. You can also add a TTM. Okay, and if you see now, anything with this ABBV, anything starting from yellow to the darker blue, that's the good buy point. And right now this where it is trying to going sideways, but eventually it is trying to move back up. So if it breaks out 156, expect to if it goes 156, yeah, this is the next 159, and this is actually good, looking solid. We have to see how it plays out. Start watching again. This one is just a you can, what you do, we can just take a look at peak up. So typically what happens when the institutes wants to load up, right? Institute wants to load up, they will start slowly one at a time. So so this week these stocks did only 5%, 4%, 3%, slow and steadily. And sometimes you can just get rid of this 200 and make sure they're at least up above 50. Okay, this is what the stocks are trying to take a look and see. Game, people are trying to invest on game. See, and Boeing is actually breaking out. Boeing is breaking out. Qualcomm is breaking out. And Rocket Mortgage, it's also breaking out. Costco breaking out from previous. Alta is actually good stock. Then what else? Visa is also breaking out, slow and steady. Walmart is also, because again, it all depends on the markets. Okay, it all depends on overall market. United Healthcare is good stock. It can actually go to 600s, at least 550. It can touch it as a good solid. Apple is good. Home Depot is also actually breaking out.
Sri, can you share the settings for this scanner?
Sure. What I suggest is you can, I think instead of a light, you can, okay, let me copy this and then share the link. Okay, you can just try this also. If not, you can also try Finviz direct scan too. This will also will, yeah, this also will give you the scanner. I keep watching this. This is a different dimension of looking, because Finviz is having a very good scanner. So a lot of things are good. 50 MA, it doesn't have the EMA, which is, I believe, still it is fine for me. And if you want to know, okay, on a daily ATR, what stocks are actually breaking out, like anything like over anything above 5 points up. So take a look at these stocks. This is actually moving. Having an average ATR of a 5 points, which especially for calls, eventually, okay, this can move like $10. If you play in the money, it can, at least on an average, it can move like 5 points up. Some of these contracts, stocks. We can do this one also for week down also, if the stocks are actually moving down. And there are so almost 36 stocks, and I expect to be below SMA 50 for a bearish, right? Nvidia is still bearish, with the chip sector is not really breaking out much. John Deere also still in a bearish zone. Adobe, Lulu, Booking, Tesla is also bearish with the overall it is performance of the week. If you consider, okay, so you can just play, you can trade. I'll just remove. Okay, if anybody wants to know IPO, you can actually take a look at this. It'll view. Yeah, good info. Well, they're just trying to. I can clear everything. Okay, I'll do the IPOs happened last month. Think nothing. Okay, this is IPOs last 2 years. Yeah, you can see a couple of them, whatever. Yeah, it has good theme. You also have fundamental. Fundamental basically tells you the couple of things. EPS, price to book, price to current ratio, quick ratio. If any stock is having insider transactions, positive, very positive. Do very positive. We'll see who is doing. DoorDash is having some insider transaction. So let's see if what is DoorDash. Okay, DoorDash is consolidated phase. If I look, everything is still sell off only. So that means some of the institutes are loading up because I think there's earning is also coming on August 4th. So see why they're trying to buy and eventually looking like it's going to break out. DoorDash. Yeah, if anybody has any question, let me know.
Novax.
No wax. Yeah, Novavax went to all the way to 70, and then because of some allergy, it actually dropped out. I expect to go back up to 70s again. That's what my target, because they already have an FDA approval. FDA don't approve, for just simply like I think the stock has a very good value. So expect until 73. If not, you can load some of the, in case if it drops, it is having 36 a good support, and right now 50 is a good support. Eventually, if at all, if it drops, you can load anything from 36 to 40s in case. But this swinging this stock is pretty good. Novax, I expect to gap up if the market is trying to do good next quarter. This quarter, we expect to go back to 100. So that's what my plan for Novavax. So Novavax, let's see if there any money. Okay, let's see the performance. Performance of the week, 28%, whereas this month, 40%. Yeah, this is a good stocks to buy, right? And I was talking about growth stocks, right?
See,
I didn't.
on Novavax, I read that the vaccination rate in US, like for the people going for vaccinations, has come down a lot. So there may not be much sales or something. Is that true?
No, there is a allergy reported for Novavax side effects. You see Novavax down as EU side effects to COVID jab label. I mean, there were some side effects, but which because nowadays everybody needs the because government itself, they bought Novavax, right? US, they bought a lot of vaccinations from Novavax. Whatever the side effects it could be, I mean, eventually they're going to use it, and then because if the FDA is approved, right, eventually it will work.
Okay.
It's a common side effect for all the types of.
I just read like the sales may not be. Yeah, agree, because government is the big buyer, but usually the people going for vaccinations, it's not going up the sale rate or what, the growth rate. It's just stalled kind of situation.
Yeah, I mean, again, the companies will not buy the vaccination. The government buy the vaccination, and then the people just go and get it. If the government can just get ready to buy more, that should be good. But I mean, these guys, I mean, they should have got this vaccination lot earlier. That's the problem. That's why Novavax went down so badly. It was running like 250s and 300s. They brought this vaccination very late. That's the uh, because again it's a UK company, right? They do a lot better down the line. Mm,
Okay, yeah, good to know.
sure.
It's up.
Yeah, good, Subbu. And one more thing I wanted to just check. For next week, I'm going to do one more. Like I'm going to sell some calls. I think that would be good for some of them, to just to capture. If you have good capital, then I think you should leverage selling calls also to make some more money on the options, because some of the based on the technical analysis, based on the uh, some of the expected movements for the stock, I expect we can still make good money by selling the options as well. uh, because see, all of a sudden some of these stocks, right? So let's say I want to take a look at Novavax. If you see, uh, Novavax is okay, and the premiums are is pretty fine. But let's say take a look at what is that stock, which I wanted to trade. Okay, if you look at some of these, United Healthcare, I know, like, you need to have a good premium to sell some of these contracts. Now but if you look some of the stocks like Lucid, so again you can sell 12th August. Okay, if you look at Lucid right now, and I do a weekly chart on this, start looking at it is consolidating right now, right? And eventually they're not really going to make produce very soon, so we can start selling some of these calls, not 27, which is at the resistance levels. By the time it's going to come back up, we can expect, so you can expect to have the time decay and everything. So that's the reason, start looking at selling some of the far off the money call at 12th August, let's say 18 November.
So see, to start with, I'm not familiar. So what's the criteria we should find the premium, high premiums, and which are not in the money?
Yeah, what I would say, the stocks which are in a bearish trend, but the premium is high. Premium is high. So one example, I wanted to do one stock. Let's say Red
Yeah, if you can
Healthcare.
show with one example, like the call, how to sell call, and
Okay, if you see right now, see, the thing is, this is the weekly option, right? This is the weekly option, and especially like if you see now, you can easily collect. So this is the stock is worth around 529, 530, and if it is in a if it is a proper bullish sentiment, I would go and sell like a 515 puts. Okay, I'll sell 550 puts. So if I see it's a bullish, because I'm going to collect this premium, and then by the time I expect the market to go up, the stock to go up further up, I sell this calls. But if I think, okay, my stock, let's say if you look on this, and eventually there is a resistance on the stock at what is this value? 553. Okay, 553 is the next resistance. So I expect the stock to go up a bit, but not above 553 or a 560 call. So what you do, you can just go and sell the maybe 5th August. See, if you see now August, they're around 540. You can sell some 560 calls and collect the premium. You can do it. If you think the stock is cannot really go up above 560, by August 4th, and then you can collect the premium, and then it will worth zero by the time it expires, right? So you collect the premium. So when you sell this, okay, let's say 555, okay, you sell it right now. We'll collect a premium, whatever, 291 or 370. You try to sell it at 370 and you collect the premium. Okay, you sell it. And by the time the stock do not move up, by 5th August, it expires worthless, right? So you're going to cover $390 and eventually all that money is. But what if it goes back up, right, above 560 to 580, whatever it goes up, then you should be ready to try to close that buy back that option for a little higher price, if the stock actually goes up. So that's what your stop loss is somewhere set here. So you sell it, and moment by it comes somewhere here, you just try to buy back and then move on. So that your risk is limited. So that's the thing. So now let's say Tesla is pretty good for selling the option contract. If you look on a weeklies, see weekly, if you make $300, it is good for you, right? So look at the premium, for the next week, it is so much. It is very, very highly volatile, right? So 770, or let's say you wanted to sell 500, 795 or 800. Okay, let's think that I wanted to sell a 790 call. You sell it 635 or 660. You sell it. You're trying to sell it. Right? You cover 635 as a premium. And what if the stock, it eventually it will move a little bit here and there, but it expires at 770 or 760, 790. It is a little bit tricky because you never know, how the stock will move for the next week. Again, the earnings is there. I'm just saying we should try to because what happens during the earning season, right? Mm, this implied volatility also get increased, right? You can actually sell it right before the earnings as well. Sometimes it'll, if you think you are bearish, and then you can just sell it, this will go to $10, you sell it and cover. And if the stock goes down, you make money, but if stock goes up, you may lose money. So there is another pitfall is also there. So but what I'm saying is, how much a stock Tesla can move? It can move like, during, not you just leave the earnings during this week. Let's say if there is no earnings, and try to sell little far off the money call, right? And you cover the, so in this way, the time decay will work for you, right? I mean, you, whatever the amount is collected is yours. Nobody is going to ask you, right? So 785, I wanted to sell it. Whatever, $630 you cover it, you take it. And for this, you need to have the, either you buy 100 stocks of Tesla, or you need to have a portfolio worth more than you can able to buy 100 stocks of Tesla. If you have margin, you can actually do it. This is more like your rent. You are just getting a $600 $630 for a week, which is actually pretty good. I will start sharing some of these trades also. So after doing some,
If it is about to reach 785, you said we sell it with stop loss. How do we do that?
so
Is that an option or we
yeah, there is
cannot
an
sell?
option. So you can see here the buyback. Okay, so one thing is you need to start with the sell first, right?
Yeah, that I
Then
understand. Sell, we understand.
okay, let's say single. Okay, sell. I want to buy back at buy, right? So here you make one conditional and moment. Okay, so what we bought? We bought a 785. We sold a 785 call and moment. So where is this? Tesla is coming above 770 or somewhere closer. Okay, you can mention, and this is a market order. Okay, and I can just save and trigger just for a stop loss. We can do this also.
Means we are buying one quantity or this is option?
This is an option contract. We are
Okay, we are
just
buying one contract.
yeah. So initially we sold it. Initially we sold it at $635. We sell it first. For that you need to have a margin or you need to have a money to buy 100 stocks of
Can we do the cash account?
cash account. I don't cash account. I think if you have enough money in your cash account, then
Oh,
you should,
okay.
yeah.
So what's the margin? Like 25K, that minimum, those are the marginal costs, right?
Yeah, margin account you can actually do pretty good. 20 if you have anything like more than 25K, you can start doing this.
Is there an equation like you cannot sell more than this much? Say like if I only have 25,000 bare minimum.
Yeah,
How
if you are
much?
less than that, what I suggest is, let's say you have Novavax, okay, or Novavax or Pfizer or Ford. Okay, just think about Ford. Ford, you can sell, let's say 5th August or what to say, 26th August. But you don't get much here because I want to have a better, it is having some good
Yeah,
volatility.
premium is.
So you take a look at AMC, and AMC, if you look, it's having somewhat better. So I wanted to sell, let's say weekly. So 22 weeklies itself wanted to sell. Okay, I just wanted to collect $19. Okay, you collect a $16 for 18.5. Okay, you sell it first, and you can. So you all you need to do is you need to have at least how much $1,800 or something like that. You need to have the margin to cover it back. Okay. So that's the for cash. But what I'm saying is try to have if you have more than 25K, you can start trading, just selling some calls. So you can buy some calls, buy some stocks, and sell the covered call. I strongly advise the stock which is having highly good implied volatility. So let's see if what is stock is on highly. Yeah, I had like some of these. Okay, I'll do some ATRs. ATR above 4-5, and the stocks price is less. Okay, nothing more, whichever is less is. Okay, let's do Boeing. We'll see what's Boeing is. Okay, I can sell some 160 calls on 5th August if you think stock will come back up until like 150 or something, or and do not break above 160. Even if the stock goes sideways, you still make money, and the theta will work for you.
So if I for safety, if I make a buy order when it reaches 155, so that premium would be 4.5, and I sold it for $3. So the loss would be 1.5, or how does it work? Can you show one example?
Okay, so let's say 155, you are selling it this one, right? So you are trying to sell it for a 450. Okay, you sold it at 450.
Okay.
Okay, and um, if the stock come at 5th August, it expires. It came up to 155. When it comes to 155, then this option contract will have the value of $0. That means you collected 465 for premium, and you don't need to buy back, and it is went worthless. So you're collecting all the $460 for you, and you can enjoy with that. So what if the stock, let's say it goes to 157, right? By end of the 5th August. So that time your option contract worth $200 because it is in the money at 157. So you need to give back 465 minus 2, which is you're still collecting, uh, you still have a profit of 265, right? Only you will have a break even. Only you
You
will have
can get
break.
$2 in the money.
How much? $2?
$2. You said it's if it is 157, so the difference is $2, so that you pay back.
$2.65. Yeah, that's what you need to
Okay.
lose that. That's it. But again, see, you can still sell it well before the expiration as well, right? You can still sell it well before the expiration anytime. You can collect whatever your amount, and you can do that for like just to collect the premium $100 and $200, and trying to say, I would say best time to sell is when the stock actually went up and it is uh, it's it stopped out during the day or anything like that. So if you see right now 149 it went, and it went to all the way to 144. So I would say best thing is by open market open, it actually bought, but you never know, right, whether you are going to go up or go down. The moment it drops out, you can actually start selling 150 calls because you think that, oh, there is a today it actually went down. You can expect to cover. You can sell the calls, and you can come back and cover it right here. You can do the day trading also.
So we can sell the call, and when it is at the bottom, we can sell the contract.
You can
We
buy
have
back
to
that.
keep it
You can buy
till
back.
expiry.
Yeah.
Correct?
Buyback means you need to buy the stocks.
No. You can just buy the contract back. That's it.
Oh, okay. But for sell call, you need to own the stock, right? See?
Sell the call. You need to. There are two things. One is basically you have a margin.
Mhm.
Okay. You have a margin. You have a money to cover that back, or you you do holding the 100 stocks. Okay. Okay. See if you see here's whatever buy, right. There is a covered call. Okay, right here, if you see, I am buying the 100 stock of Boeing, and I'm selling a $150. So which is you can see right here. You're selling, which is this is worth like what? This is 5th August, right? Let's say I want to do 22nd, and I wanted to sell a call of $3. You're buying $100 worth of stocks, and you are also trying to sell the call. So this is the covered call.
Sri, can you also look into SPR, because when Boeing moves up, SPR also moves up, right?
Which one? SP?
SPR. It's a parts one. Yeah, first one, yeah. Just trying to break out, right? This one too.
Yeah, this is actually breaking out. And let's see if you see by one day, and this is actually good, looking good, solid.
So this, I always notice, Sri, this always moves with Boeing.
Boeing.
Yeah. This is a part supplier for airlines.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
See, from this bottom is actually breaking out, and eventually it is looking good. So if it can break out above 34, then next target is 43 or something around that. Yeah, I expect first target should be 34,
Yeah.
and then we can try to see if we can break out above that.
So I can load this one, right? Sri, this one, this looks good, right?
This is looking good. The stock
Yeah.
is looking. Yeah, you have my setup, right? You have
Yeah,
the
I have
setup.
yours. Yeah.
Perfect. That's good. Okay, I think it's 11 already. If you
Sri, can you,
Sushil,
this is Manoj.
Manoj, tell me, Manoj.
Can you do on session on this covered calls and what is meant by this? What is the logic behind all this stuff?
Yeah, sure, Manoj. I will do one session. I wanted just to start with something which is a basic to sell the call, sell the puts. See, what we are doing right now, we are just buying the calls and buying the puts. So,
Yeah.
and it is more like you are the again, if you hold a contract 1 day or 2 day, so the premium would be deducted, right? But now you can also sell the option contract. You can be other side of the option contract as well, as long as you have the margin or a money to buy the 100 stocks, to do this trade. So eventually when you sell it, you can there are a couple of things will favor in your mind, in your way. One is when you sell any of this contract, time decay will, whatever the theta, people talk about theta, premium decay will not be there. Whatever you collected, that's it. But the down, the problem with the selling the call, there is a unlimited risk in the trade. Because what if, okay, you sell a $34 call on this SPR, what if it goes to $40 next week? So eventually you have to pay back, let's say you bought this, you sold it at $200, eventually you have to buy back at $800. That is the thing. But again, you are not going to hold until then, right? You can anytime, you can still sell. That is also like a day trading. As long as you make profit, $100 or $200, come out of it. Okay, that is the conservative method to start with, but we will go a little aggressive and trade that way, because some of the contracts, whenever we buy, it goes worth expire. They expire worthless, right? So we are going to do the other way, so that we will get we will sell the calls, and we will be in the favor of time decay, which will works out for us.
Okay. So when should we buy back that? For example, if we buy it, if we sell at 34, if it is reaching it, coming to 34, if we sell it, right, we don't need to buy the stocks, right?
You don't need to just buy, you can just buy back the option contract itself. That will be fine. Only when um, if you like once like, okay, if it goes to $39 or whatever, and then you got to like, it will you really want to exercise, then only you have to buy back all the stock. Otherwise you can just pay what is the difference and then exit the trade.
So
Yeah, I'll do.
news just came up that FedEx is FDX. Sorry, they're talking about 0.75 point increase.
Yeah, that is already there, right? That's
Right.
yeah, that is we
When
already
is
know.
when is the date actually?
I think July 27th.
July 27th. Okay. So at that time it can come down, right? That's the day we need to be a little careful.
That's the day we got to be. I mean, what I would say for now, right now, it's a good question you asked. So look at the market watch. What is that we are expecting on the economic calendar for next week? So July 18th, yeah, nothing, home builder. I'm not really bothered much. Initial job clients, maybe Thursday. Okay. That could be okay. There's not much this week. It's only the earnings, right? And new home sales, consumer confidence. Okay, it's not much. I'm not worried. Pending home sales, and if you see Jerome Powell
Yeah,
press
when
conference,
July 27th.
this is the judgment day. You got
Yeah.
to watch out what is Powell is trying to tell.
Right.
I expect you can, because of the inflation, try to buy puts one day just before this.
Yeah, so that's why I was asking you. And we need to, if we have a holding calls, we just get out.
Yeah,
I
just
think.
get
Yeah.
out. Eventually, with that fear itself, it goes down.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
And maybe if they really say, oh, okay, really not bothered much or anything like that, maybe you can load some calls later on. Yeah, so this is the day, judgment day. Yeah, so far I'm bullish with there's
Basically,
no.
then for that week expiry, we can sell some calls, expecting that market will go down before its speech. And we
Yeah,
get
yeah, that's
confidence.
also good. That's also good. Um, but again, try to cover it before this, because if these guys say we are not, I'm sure. I think they're going to increase the rates again. So that's the target, because inflation rate they want to cut it down anyway. And even after doing increasing the height rates last time, it still did not help. So there is one more rate hike is going to come. That's what my expectation. We'll see what Powell they talk.
Sri, one question.
Yes, Raj,
Uh,
tell me.
yeah, so you're showing that FinViz, right? Do you do like anything like double bottom pattern or like up and handle the check anything for the screener?
Oh, this one you can do it actually. There is a way. Actually there's a patterns also there.
Yeah, it's below that RSI and change.
Yeah, if you see here, double top, double bottoms, you can actually find out. Let's say I want to do a double bottom. Okay, GameStop is having double bottom, Alta double bottom, Roku, this is not Roku, this is Rockwell. So let's take a look at GameStop. What's actually double bottom? Yeah, basically these double bottoms on a daily chart.
Yeah. So I think it's based on the daily, right?
It's a based on daily.
Yeah.
Alta is
What
also,
do
see
we
if
do
you
with
see.
the double bottom? What does it mean?
So double bottom is question. So what
That's
does
a
that mean is, okay, I'll show. Okay, this is the, okay. But this is the chart, and I wanted to plot a stock. So what happens, usually typically this is a line chart. So stock will move this way, right? So stock come back down, okay? It makes a bottom and go up and come back down. It makes a bottom, right? And whatever, this is the first bottom, this second one, right? This is called as a double bottom. And when it is actually breakout, when this is called a neckline, whenever the stock actually go break above this neckline, that's what it's called as a double bottom, and then it is eventually it's a bullish pattern. So first bottom, second bottom, this is they call double bottom. There is a triple bottom too. Okay, if you want to find out triple bottom, let's see, there's a triple bottom or a multiple bottom. Okay, see, what is this? BI. Oh, FedEx. FedEx is a triple bottom. One, two, three. Okay. Okay, so what this means is same thing. Stock come back down. It makes a bottom. Again, come back down. It makes a bottom. Comes back down. It makes a bottom. So there will be a neckline. The moment it breaks out this line, this is what a triple bottom is. The same thing here. So let's see. I wanted to just to keep it more. I will stop. I'll remove all these studies. Okay, if this is QQQ also made a triple bottom, and again these ones, this is on a 4-hourly chart. This is actually looking bullish. Okay, and if you see, let's do for FedEx. Don't want to do for 4-hour chart. Okay. On a daily chart and expect, okay, this is one bottom, this is another, and this is another, like if you can see. So it's more like it is just trying to find a more support, and then now it is trying to bounce back again. It could be very not like symmetrical, but it trying to come back down and then found a support, trying to come back down, found a support, come back down, found a support, right? That's what it is expected. If you wanted to see, I can actually have somewhere, or I can actually give you much better. Bottom, 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 1, 2, like that. So it is, that means here it is trying to find the support and then comes back down. And when exactly it is called as a breakout, if you see this, right, bottom, 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 and now it is trying to break out. It failed again, but eventually it broke out this level. So some other, so I told you QQQ, right? QQQ also, it has some bottom right here. again, but here the trend line, the support trend line, it is trend line. It's actually ascending trend line. 1, 2, 3 for QQ. It's like triple bottom. And when do you call is it can actually break out, right? This level 1, and this is called as a neckline. I'll remove this. Okay, and this is the neckline. Okay, we call this as a neckline because 1, it could not break above. Neckline is actually the resistance. Again, it goes up. Again, it has to break out this level to see this is the actual the breakout. Okay, so when that could happen, if you see it's a, I mean, yeah, I mean, it can even go pretty soon, another 2-3 days. If you again it drops below, then that's what it is actually trying to convert into bearish. I'll explain some of these trends in my I have the some of the week 3 or week 2, maybe week 2. Okay, this is cup and handle. If anybody wants to know what is a cup and handle, cup and handle is the stock trying to bottomed out and then trying to goes up, and under this neckline it found a resistance and goes back down. It don't go too much down, but it will go a little bit, maybe half or like 30 to 40% down, and eventually it breaks out that level. This is called a cup, and this is a cup, and this is the handle. And if it breaks out that neckline, which is a resistance, eventually it will gap up. This is called the cup and handle. And same thing on double bottoms also. Cup and handle. I had this setup. Probably I'll share it. This one. Some diamond bottoms. You don't have to know too many things. So this is triple tops, one top, second top, third top. Again, this is also like, it go, but here is the neckline will work as a support. Eventually neckline, this it's bounce back up. But if it breaks on that neckline, it will go further down. That's all. And saucer. Something like this, triple tops, bottom, triple top, double top. Okay, so I think that should be good for now. I don't want to take too much of time this week. So we'll explain. And if you wanted to just find the all the related patterns, go here, pattern. You want to know the top like strong stocks. I will just remove everything here. Double top. Keep optionable. I'll keep 20 for the stock, which is optionable. And you see lot of stocks are making double bottoms. See, some of these stocks are making the double bottom, which are good to break out.
So if it makes a double bottom, that means it's a bullish. sign?
Yeah, that means it's a bullish. So you see here, GameStop also, right? One bottom, another bottom, another bottom. If it can break out this level, then I expect it to break out.
So these charts are already there in the Finviz, like they already drawn.
Yeah. I think Elite member.
Oh. And how much
Elite,
you pay for the Elite member?
I think it's like $40 or something like that.
Okay.
You have. I mean, if you really want, I'll show you. Like in the Finviz. Okay, there is a pattern also, but it'll show a lot of things. You can do here also, like double bottom and double tops.
Okay.
So let's say double bottom. I want to double one. Okay, I think I had all. I'll remove all. I'll do a double bottom only. I've selected. Apply. Okay, and I'll do show patterns. Okay, and let's say I wanted to. What is it? It all depends on. Yeah, it's not that very accurate, but again, like it also depends on the precision. How much you can, there is a different settings, but I mean, see, initial trend, breakout trend, all this. So let's say I want to do all around everything at all, play, and I want to remove. Okay, if I'm up over, it will say channel down. I'll do on an empty chart. Empty chart. Spy of X. I'll do okay, I'll do select patterns. I'll add all, play, and here I'll make sure I show the patterns. See, a lot of different patterns came up, right? So I don't want all this. I want only certain patterns. Let's say channel up, channel down. I want double bottom, double top. Okay, I want so if you see right now, FedEx, it showed this is the channel up. It automatically draws it for you. And now there is a bearish trend on the daily. It broke out. I can do that. There is channel down, channel up, channel down. Let's do. Yeah, this is more can get complex. You can follow Finvest just to see what is actually make a bottom out. This is actually good. So Twitter also made a bottom. Okay, so I expect to do good for some of these stocks, right? If you take a look, Netflix is, I need to check the fundamentals, how they do good. But I mean, overall, Netflix is still bearish for me yet. Twitter is we need to see the trend. So far, if you look the Twitter, it can actually gap up to 40s and then get rejected, and then retest that level. If the earnings are good, it can actually gap up to 40s to 50s. Airlines, I'm bearish because Delta Airlines did not do pretty good. I'm bearish on airlines. Tesla maybe can gap up to 800s.
What about Neo?
I think Neo had a good sales, right? We had decent sales, but again, China stock, right? So this China stocks, see, take a look at some of these readings. We are sticking to one part hole after another. Some of these reports really scares me to get in.
I'm at break even, I think so. Neo, I just get out of it.
I mean, see what's this. If it's a thing is, if Tesla does good, right? Tesla does good. I mean, eventually there will be some EVs will wake up and run. Okay, I think people are saying just hold on the Seeking Alpha. June deliveries show growth making a comeback. So I keep a look on what is the June deliveries on the stock. Yeah, I think the sales went up pretty good. You can expect some good moments. Neo is a good stock. Yeah, you can hold on to it as long as America supports Chinese stocks. It is still good.
Yeah, this
Madhav,
stock LI Auto actually.
this is good. LI X5 is best. If you ask me, X5 is better than LI. I would say X5 first, next to Neo, then LI. X5 is actually doing good, pretty good.
Yeah, I think Cathay would loaded a lot of XPEV actually.
Yeah, see, if you see April year-to-year growth, actually X5 did pretty good. May, I did pretty good. June.
Yeah.
And the Seeking Alpha is good. This is by much better instead of if you really wanted to get $20 subscription, you get a lot of good things to read. Otherwise,
Yeah. So what was this page which you went on? What did you search on this one? Yes, you said Neo basically. That's it. Okay.
yeah, Neo, and then I looked at the latest analysis, and then I came back here. And
Okay. All right.
Perfect.
There is one Warren Buffett stock, right? He bought the Chinese EV maker. I forgot the name.
EVGO you're talking about?
Not EV. Buffett. It's in Buffett stock, but there is rumor that he's going to sell off, but not confirmed.
Okay.
They supply to Tesla also, big batteries. Forgot.
Is it? I think LI maybe. LI was actually
TA. No, not LI. Please hold on, I'll tell you. That's not US listed, but there is some fund or something for it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
BYDDF. BY, B as in boy. I don't know much about it, but except the news, so we can have a look.
Yeah, you got it right here. BYD, of course, heavy investors will scale.
Actually, BYD outperformed any other EV maker. Obviously, Warren Buffett picked it.
Hmm.
So this is a US listed or no?
No, it's Hong Kong.
Oh, okay.
I'm not. I think we can buy the actual stock is BYD, but I think the fund is BYDDF. So that's why I was wondering if we can have a look at.
Oh yeah, BYDDF. I can trade. BYD. Okay.
Warren Buffett news is just a rumor. If it is not true, it's gonna go high again.
Yeah, so far, it fallen off. So I don't know what is the main reason. Like last week, it really went down 38 to 30. So I think maybe it could be because of 14th that article came, right?
Yeah, that was major news because Warren Buffett was selling. There's the news,
Okay, okay,
not
okay,
not
maybe.
confirmed. It's just a rumor. But
Okay,
can be
okay,
true.
okay.
What I'm trying to say is this is a best performing EV maker in China.
Oh, nice. Yeah, it's up to the expectation. Oh, this big. Okay, it's taking some time. That's fine. That's good info. Okay. Anybody has any questions? Yeah, sounds good then. Have a good week ahead. We will catch up again tomorrow.
You'll share this recording, right, Sri?
Yeah, I'll share the recording.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thanks.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. Good night, all guys. Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you,
Thank you.
Subbu.
Bye.
Thank you, Raj.
Bye.
Thank you all.